There is something the nervous system needs to hear every morning before the day begins. Not an affirmation, not a motivational statement or a positive declaration or any of the various verbal interventions that the contemporary wellness culture offers as the first act of the waking day. Something considerably more fundamental than any of those things. The specific embodied, genuinely felt signal that what is about to happen, the ordinary day, with its ordinary demands and its ordinary encounters and its ordinary texture of being alive in a specific body, in a specific life, is something the nervous system is safe enough to meet. This signal cannot be produced through words alone. It cannot be generated through the decision to feel safe, however sincerely that decision is made. It is a physiological state, a specific quality of nervous system activation, or more precisely, the specific quality of nervous system regulation that either is present in the body or is not. And whether it is present or not in the morning hours of any given day is not primarily a function of what the mind decides. It is a function of what the nervous system has learned, through the accumulated experience of its entire developmental history, to expect from a new day. Gabor Maté was precise about this. The nervous system that wakes each morning in a state of genuine safety, genuine readiness to meet the day from a regulated, resourced, genuinely available interior state, is a nervous system that has accumulated sufficient experience of safety to treat it as the expected baseline rather than as an occasional exception to be grateful for. And the nervous system that wakes in a state of low-grade activation, already monitoring, already braced, already running the threat assessment that the original developmental environment required it to run before anything specific has happened to warrant it. That nervous system is not malfunctioning. It is doing exactly what it learned to do, preparing as it has been preparing since the experiences that taught it preparation was necessary, for a day whose safety cannot be assumed. The morning practice I want to give you today is not a technique for tricking the nervous system into feeling safe when it does not. It is a genuine daily, consistently applied set of experiences through which the nervous system, gradually, over real time, accumulates the evidence it needs to begin updating its foundational assessment of what a day actually contains, what is actually available, what is actually safe to approach rather than brace against. This updating does not happen quickly. Gabor Maté never offered false comfort about how quickly genuine nervous system change occurs. It happens through the accumulation of genuine experience, specific, repeated, bodily felt experience of a different morning than the one the nervous system was expecting. And that accumulation over genuine time, with genuine patience, with genuine compassion for the pace at which a nervous system shaped by specific developmental experience can genuinely change, that accumulation produces something real, not the performance of safety, the genuine felt interior experience of a nervous system that is finally, gradually, honestly beginning to learn that the day is something it can meet rather than something it must defend against. The morning practice begins before you get out of bed. In the specific moments between sleeping and full waking, when the body is present but the day's demands have not yet fully organized the attention, there is a brief and genuinely significant window, a window in which the nervous system's state can be honestly assessed before the day's momentum carries it forward into whatever activation the day will produce. The practice in this window is not meditation in any formal sense, it is simply honest attention. The specific quality of genuine, non-demanding, genuinely curious attention to what is actually present in the body in this specific moment before anything has been required of it. What is the quality of the breath? Not what it should be, what it actually is. Shallow or deep, easy or effortful. Where in the body it is most felt, and what quality it carries in this specific morning. What is the quality of the muscular state? Where is tension present before anything has been asked, that might produce tension? What is the body already carrying from before the day has begun? What is the quality of the interior atmosphere? Not the mood in the cognitive sense, the felt sense. The specific quality of readiness or wariness or heaviness or ease that is present in the body before the mind has had the opportunity to generate a narrative about it. This honest assessment, made without judgment, without the demand that what is found should be different from what it is, simply with genuine curious attention, is the foundation of everything that follows. Because the morning practice that does not begin with honest assessment of what is actually present, begins instead from the gap between what is present and what is desired. And that gap, when it is not acknowledged, produces the specific quality of failed effort that most morning practices eventually produce. The practice that promised to make the mornings different failing to make them different because it was applied on top of a nervous system state that was never honestly acknowledged. The honest assessment is not discouraging, it is grounding. It locates the practice in the actual rather than the aspirational. And actual ground, however uncomfortable its quality in any given morning, is more useful for genuine change than aspirational ground that requires the actual to be managed into invisibility before the practice can begin. After the honest assessment held briefly, without extended dwelling, simply registered honestly, the practice moves to the breath. Not breathing exercises in the performative sense. The specific, honest, non-dramatic practice of allowing the exhale to be slightly longer than the inhale. Not forcing a particular rhythm. Simply allowing the exhale more room than the inhale has been given. And attending with genuine curiosity to what happens in the body when this is done. The physiology is documented and direct. The extended exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system through the vagus nerve. The heart rate begins to slow. The cortisol that peaked in the early morning hours begins to reduce. The specific quality of low-grade activation that the nervous system brought into the day begins, gradually, to shift towards something closer to genuine baseline. This shift does not require significant time. 3 to 5 minutes of genuine, honest, non-dramatic attention to the breath, with the exhale allowed slightly more room than the inhale, produces measurable physiological change in the nervous system's activation state. Not transformation, not the sudden arrival of profound peace. Simply the genuine, modest, physiologically real movement of the nervous system toward a slightly more regulated state than it woke in. That modest shift is not nothing. It is the beginning of something. The specific, repeatable, daily experience of the nervous system, discovering that a morning intervention, something that is done consistently, in the ordinary, unremarkable circumstances of waking, can produce a genuine shift in its state, that the state it wakes in is not fixed, that something is available to it in the morning, that can genuinely, if modestly, change the quality of what follows. That discovery, made daily, in the body rather than in the mind, through genuine physiological experience, rather than through the decision to believe it, is the beginning of the nervous system's most important update. The update that says, the morning is something I can genuinely affect. The state I wake in is not the state I must carry unchanged into everything that follows. After the breath, the practice moves to the body. Specifically, to the deliberate, patient, non-dramatic practice of bringing genuine warmth to whatever part of the body is most carrying the previous day, or the previous years. The tension in the jaw that is present before any reason for tension has arrived, the tightness across the chest that woke with you. The specific location in the body where the nervous system's unprocessed history is most consistently held. Not massage in the physical sense. The specific quality of gentle, patient, genuinely warm attention directed toward the place in the body that most needs it. The hand placed there, if that is comfortable. The breath directed there. The simple, honest, entirely non-dramatic act of a self turning toward its own body with something resembling the quality of attention it would offer to a person it genuinely cared for who was carrying something difficult. This practice is not comfortable for everyone. For the person whose early relational environment did not provide consistent warmth, bringing warmth to their own body can initially produce the specific discomfort of receiving something the nervous system learned to do without. That discomfort is not a sign that the practice is wrong. It is a sign that it is reaching the territory where the genuine work needs to happen. Gabor Maté observed that the body holds what the relational environment failed to provide. The warmth that was inconsistently available in the original environment is held as absence in the body, a specific quality of coldness or tension or numbness in the physical experience of being in this body. And the daily practice of offering genuine warmth to the body, patient, consistent, non-demanding warmth, is the beginning of providing, from within, what the original environment could not consistently provide from without. This does not replace relational healing. Gabor Maté was always clear that the nervous system heals most completely in genuine relationship rather than in isolation. But it supplements it. It creates in the daily morning practice a specific, consistent, genuinely available experience of the self turning toward itself with something other than judgment, urgency, or the demand to be different from what it is. After the body, the practice moves to intention, but not the intention that most morning practices offer, not the intention to be productive, not the intention to be positive, not the intention to have a good day in any of the various forms that contemporary morning culture has made available. The specific, honest, modest, genuinely achievable intention that grounds the practice in something real rather than aspirational. The intention to notice, at least once during the day, the specific quality of the nervous system state before reacting to whatever produces a reaction. To create, at least once, the specific, brief, genuinely significant pause between stimulus and response, in which the nervous system's actual state can be honestly registered before it generates its habitual output. That intention, modest, specific, entirely achievable, is more valuable for genuine nervous system change than the intention to have a transformed day, because it is oriented toward the mechanism rather than the outcome, toward the specific, repeatable daily practice of genuine self-awareness in the moment of activation that gradually, over time, builds the capacity for genuine choice in the territory where previously there was only automatic reaction. Now I want to give you the 7 specific things this morning. Practice produces over genuine time, not promises. Clinical observations of what consistent, honest, genuinely applied morning practice of this quality actually produces in the nervous system of the person who maintains it. The first thing it produces is a changed relationship with the morning itself. The person who has practiced honest morning attention long enough begins to notice a subtle but genuine shift in the quality of the waking moment, not dramatic transformation. The specific, quiet, genuinely felt difference between a nervous system that is bracing for the day and a nervous system that is even slightly more genuinely ready to meet it. The morning that was previously something to get through becomes, gradually, something to genuinely inhabit. The second thing it produces is greater access to the nervous system's actual state throughout the day. The daily practice of morning attention builds a capacity, gradually, through repetition, for genuine interoceptive awareness. The ability to notice the nervous system state as it is shifting, rather than only after it has fully activated. The specific quality of early awareness that makes genuine choice available in the territory where previously there was only reaction after the fact. The third thing it produces is a changed relationship with difficulty during the day. The nervous system that begins the day from a slightly more regulated state has slightly more genuine resource available when difficulty arrives, not infinite resource. Not the permanent elimination of reactivity, simply the specific, practically significant difference between a system that was already running at high activation when the difficulty arrived and a system that had, even briefly, returned to something closer to genuine baseline before the difficulty appeared.
The fourth thing it produces is a changed quality of relational presence. The nervous system that is more genuinely regulated is more genuinely available for genuine relational contact. Specific quality of presence that genuine relationship requires, the ability to actually be in the room with another person rather than managing the appearance of being there, is more available from a regulated nervous system than from one that is running the threat assessment continuously through every relational encounter. The fifth thing it produces is a changed relationship with rest.
The person whose nervous system begins to genuinely update its threat assessment, whose morning practice accumulates sufficient experience of genuine morning safety to begin shifting the baseline, begins to notice that rest becomes more genuinely available, not the rest that is taken with the quality of someone waiting for it to end so that the monitoring can resume, something closer to genuine rest. The specific, embodied, actually restorative quality of a nervous system that is beginning to genuinely believe that standing down is safe. The sixth thing it produces is the gradual development of genuine self-compassion as a default rather than an achievement. The daily practice of turning toward the body with genuine warmth, of honestly assessing what is present without judgment, of offering the nervous system consistent patient attention rather than the demand to be different. This practice, maintained over genuine time, gradually changes the interior atmosphere, not through the decision to be more self-compassionate, through the accumulated experience of a self that has been treated daily with something resembling genuine care by its own consistent morning attention. The seventh thing, the most important, the one that everything else in this practice is building toward, the gradual, genuine, bodily felt update of the nervous system's most foundational assessment, not the intellectual update, not the cognitive agreement that the present is safer than the past, the specific, physiological, genuinely embodied update that occurs when a nervous system has accumulated sufficient experience of genuine morning safety, sufficient repetitions of the honest, warm, genuinely compassionate morning attention that this practice offers, to begin at the level of the body rather than the mind, to treat safety as the expected baseline rather than as the occasional exception. That update does not happen in a week. It does not happen in a month. It happens over genuine time through genuine daily practice in the patient, unglamorous, consistently applied repetition of honest morning attention that this practice asks of you. But it does happen. Gabor Maté observed it, documented it, understood it as one of the most significant developments available in a human life. The nervous system that finally, genuinely, in the body, rather than only in the mind, begins to learn that the day is something it is safe enough to meet, not perfectly, not permanently, not without the continued practice that the continued update requires, but genuinely, in the specific, quiet, entirely real way that genuine nervous system change actually occurs. One honest morning at a time, and the privilege of a lifetime, the one Gabor Maté pointed toward with everything he had, the privilege of a lifetime, is to become who you truly are, in a nervous system that is finally, genuinely learning that it is safe enough to let you